How's it going, guys? Same Gamer here. Wanted to talk to you guys about Xbox One and PS4 specs. It seems like a lot of people are getting confused. People try to hype up and make you expect things that are not realistic with these consoles. But I'm not here to bash it, I'm just here to tell the truth. First and foremost, one of the reasons why I'm even talking about it is because there's a comment that was made, or a video that was made by Crap Gamer that talked about how Madden looked better on the Xbox One than the PS4. Well, first and foremost, he's a hypocrite for one, because he contradicts himself. He talks about how resolution and graphics don't matter, it's about the game, and yet he comes out with his videos talking about how one looks better than the other. First and foremost, let's just set the record straight, okay? The PS4 has DDR5 RAM and I guess you can say almost a 7000 series mobile GPU, okay? The Xbox One has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM and a 6770 equivalent mobile GPU. Now let me break it down a little bit more for people who may not understand what mobile is. Okay, you have a desktop graphics card, which is what it's a dedicated graphics card, and the mobile graphics cards are dedicated as well. But the thing about it is, the reason why they consider them as a mobile is because they're made for laptops. Okay, so in other words, you have a laptop. Okay, you have a laptop GPU in these consoles, and it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Okay, so let's get that out of there as well. It's not a bad thing. It's just that the expectations are a little bit limited. So when it comes to expectations, let's just be honest, okay? Yes, the PS4 is a little bit more powerful than the Xbox One, but not by much. And a lot of times, it doesn't even have to necessarily be more powerful. It has to do with the optimization of the SDKs for these developers. Not only that, but it depends on what these developers, how much time these developers want to take. They could be lazy and the game not look as good as it could possibly look. And that's very likely. That's probably why Madden Edition on the Xbox One is a little bit more look a little bit better than the PS4s, because Microsoft pushed them and told them, hey, you know, this is unacceptable. Give us the best experience that we can get. We're not going to take anything less. Versus Sony, man, just not really push the envelope. And the thing about it is, guys, as time goes on, those systems will get optimized a little bit more, and they will get better. But at the same time, don't expect anything, you know, just super amazing, okay? Because that's just not realistic. You're gonna have games that look good, and that's one of the benefits of having a console, is that every console, every PS4 has the same specs. Every Xbox One has the same specs. Versus on PC, you have so many different PCs that not all of them are the same. So the optimization is a little bit more difficult. I'm not saying that it's impossible to get it to run good, because that's not the case. It's just a little bit more difficult. So, you know, these consoles will be able to, you know, fine-tune the game to make it run better, maybe higher frames, or maybe graphics a little bit better. But here's the thing. Take Call of Duty, for example, okay? Or better yet, take UFC, for example, okay? Both run at 900p, okay? But the big difference is that the PS4 has anti-aliasing versus the Xbox One doesn't. Okay, that's going to be the difference between a lot of these multi-plat games and a lot of these games that people try to do the graphical comparison to. Every now and then you will have true graphical parity, but for the most part, it's really going to come down to the anti-aliasing, which is going to make which one look better than the other. Okay? So when you listen to Crap Gamer and he's talking about, oh yeah, these games will be 1080p. Yeah, they may be 1080p, but you may not have any anti-aliasing with it. So you're gonna have jaggies and stuff like that. Your characters are not gonna look as crisp and stuff. Okay. The Xbox One is less powerful, so you're not going to get the same graphical parity on every game. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but there's going to be subtle differences on most of them. And it's going to be your anti-aliasing is going to be the big difference on a lot of them. Now, some of them, they may have the same anti-aliasing, same graphics, and everything like that, but that's not going to be all of them, okay? So when you listen to these people that, lie and expect you to get, things that are just phenomenal, as far as graphics. A lot of times you're going to have to trade off. You're either going to get a higher resolution, lower frame rate, or higher frame rate, lower resolution, okay? The good thing about Microsoft is they do have the professionals to optimize the SDKs to get the most potential out of their console. Sony, on the other hand, they're a little bit late on it. That doesn't mean that it won't happen in the future. But as of right now, their SDKs are not as optimized, as you could say. So you may have a lot of these games that may have the graphical parity or look similar and stuff like that. But what it comes down to, guys, 1080p 60 frames per second is not going to be the standard for games, okay? You're going to be doing good if you can at least just get 60 frames per second at 720p, okay, or 792p, some of those odd resolutions, okay. So don't let these people, get you hyped up or excited for these games. Now, like I said, you're gonna have some very good-looking games. Halo, I bet it's gonna look good, but it's not going to be 1080p. I guarantee it. It's not going to be 1080p. It's going to be 60 frames per second for sure. It's not going to be 1080p. And at that 1080p, at that 60 frames per second, is it going to be a consistent 60 frames per second? You may have some frame rate drops as well. Okay. People are probably going to say, well, what about the Halo Master Chief Edition? Okay, that is older games that are upgraded. And yeah, you're going to be able to get 60 frames per second, 1080p for the most part and everything like that. We're talking about games that are strictly next-gen games. Exclusives, multiplats, those type of games strictly for next-gen, okay? And I'm not here to bash the Xbox One or the PS4. I'm just trying to be realistic about it, okay? These people are sitting here lying to you, saying that, these consoles are just, both so, powerful and stuff like that. That's not the case. Okay? That is not the case. So, just keep that in mind, guys. I'm just here to be honest with you and bring you the truth. I'm not here to sit there and try to be a biased fanboy on either side because, as you know, I am mainly a PC gamer. But that doesn't mean that I don't like console. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to play some games on the console. I just hate to see people like Crap Gamer sit there and try to lie to you and show his bias and his fanboyism, and then yet turns around and gets mad because other people voice their opinions about another system or a PC and say, oh, you guys shouldn't even be talking about it. That's just being a hypocrite. You can go back and look at his videos, and he will sit there and say multiple times, it's not about the resolution. It's about the games. But yet here he is doing the same thing again. And he's talking about this 1080p issue, okay? That's not going to be the standard. It's not. I guarantee you Call of Duty Advanced Warfare will most likely not be 1080p. It's not going to happen, okay? It may happen on the PS4, but the thing about it is, it's 1080p, goes to 1080p also, but you have frame rate drops. So unless they can fix the frame rate drops, it may not be 1080p as well. Okay? they, you know, they just trying to sit there and tell you these lies that it's gonna be the same thing. It's not. 1080p is not gonna be the standard. Your big AAA titles, your Gears of War, your Halos, they're probably not gonna be 1080p. Doesn't mean it may not look good, but 1080p is not going to be the standard. So don't start expecting these games to be 1080p, 60 frames per second. If they are 1080p, you're probably going to be looking at 30 frames per second, and it's not going to be a locked 30 frames per second. Okay? So that's my little rant, and that's just my opinion and my honesty to you guys, because I hate to see people sit here and be fanboys and not true, you know, gaming news reporters, to be honest and not biased. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Have a good day. Enjoy the video.